Know why they picked the younger brother for the crime of his older brother.
You can tell that your lighting, cinematography, the color gradient, it's been way better than what we saw.
They are going to minimize the number of outfits. At least color scheme should be involved.
Why did you make it look like these were the most important people in this movie?
And then after that part, he went back to that joint and then he was speaking his pidgin. The pidgin himself. There's like a flow of conversation and you're trying to follow the movie and then somebody just drops one thing that is neither English.
Hello everyone. So today we have something very, very different. As you can see, for the first time, I have multiple people on my set. So today we saw a movie together, a Nollywood movie, of course, and the movie we saw is Family GBESE on Prime by Ink Bolts Production. So we are gonna talk about the movie. Okay, so let me give a brief synopsis of the movie. So it talks about a family man. Yes, let's say the breadwinner of a family. He has two siblings, a male and a female. He's the second born, but he acts like the firstborn, literally, because the eldest son is just useless. Definition of useless. And he has to go through a lot of things to protect his family. He had to pay a huge price for a mistake that his elder brother made. Now that was like so annoying. So for the cast, we have Uzo Arukwe, we have Mike Ozwenye, we have Sanja Okuzoma, we have Ireti Doi in this movie. We have so many actors, very, very seasoned actors in this movie. So now let me give the mic to okay. So let me just ask a question. So which part of the movie do you think you actually liked when you started the movie? Like, what part of the movie did you like that you were like, wow, this is actually nice? Because you were really sleepy, you didn't want to see a movie, honestly, you really didn't want. But you saw the movie to the end, so can you just tell us which part?
Okay. I think the part that got me interested was where they came to arrest or pick up the brother for taking a loan of 20 million naira.
See that you give me money, 20 million, I did not go. Or make I collect now.
Give me my now, please.
You understand?
I really wanted to know what to use that money for. And I really wanted to know why they picked the younger brother for the crime of his older brother. Yeah, that also got me interested in the movie.
Okay, so Amaka, you were very, very particular about the cinematography.
So I think because I've been watching a lot of recent Nollywood movies and a lot of them, you can tell that your lighting, cinematography, the color gradient, it's been way better than what we saw. Like, this felt like it took us back in terms of Nollywood standards. We've been going forward, even our ads. So I don't know, it was when they pan in and then they pan out and they're panning into the car and then they pan out and then they suddenly show. It's hard for you to follow through I started laughing because I was like, it felt more like a joke than a very serious production. Honestly, because of the heavy hitters, the actors. And I'm sure, I don't know if they watched it back and obviously you're just acting and you're expecting the producers to do their thing and then you watch it back. I wonder how they felt, but I think that really stood out to me, unfortunately.
Okay, so for me, when I started the movie, I didn't even watch the trailer for this movie, but I've been seeing Genevova is also in this movie. I've been seeing Genova's post on Instagram how she became a Singaporean for the first time in a Nollywood movie and how she was able to speak their language. So I was like, okay, anticipating her side. So when I started the movie, I didn't see Genevova almost like half of the movie. And I'm like, where is she? Where is she? Until then the other half started and I asked myself, why don't you introduce all your casts like the first scene? Why did you make it look like these were the most important people in this movie and then you started introducing the others later?
Don't do anything stupid.
Am I the only person here?
They got you. You're dead.
Picking back to what she said about the cinematography, I am a videographer, and I know what it takes to you do a multiple camera job. And even if it's different cameras and different lenses, we strive. I function in the event space, so we strive as much as possible to balance it, exposure, skin tones and everything. But then watching these movies, like, just brought an amateur, just gave him camera to shoot. Like, it was obvious that the disparity between the main camera and the side camera where it was obvious from the shot, and then exposures, like they rushed the production so that trying to meet up like some form of production date so that, I felt like they could do better. They could really do better.
Okay, for me, for the cinematography, it got to a point that I thought the TV was slanted. And I was like, maybe the TV is not straight. Maybe it's because I'm like, most of the shots were kind of like this. It was very slanted. And I'm like, for you to frame for a slanted shot, probably you are trying to aim a Dutch angle, or probably you are trying to ignite suspense. But there's no suspense in this movie. So it's either the tripod that they were using was not straight, or the cinematographer was just trying to mess with the camera, because even there were some movement shots that were even arguing if it was a gimbal or if it was a steady cam, because it was too shaky and it felt so unnatural, and my eyes was paining me because the shots were not supposed to, even the post-production, it was not aligning. When you edit for film, a shot is not all shots that follows each other. There's some shots that you know that, okay, this is a wide angle, so the next one should be like a mid, before it, just as if the post-producer just went pa 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 pa.
That kind of shot happens is probably in post, where the second camera is supposed to take a similar shot, or is not good enough to just stick to one shot for that process. So this kind of thing happens, and it's normal. But in this case, they should have made it shorter instead of just allowing us to just follow through for like 5 seconds, or like in post, we do fix in post, we scaling, change the position and aspect ratio. It would help.
There's only so much I can take before I stop trying.
So now let's talk about the performance of the character. Like the actor, not the character, the actors. I personally felt that the villain himself was not scary at all. I was shocked that the elder brother was not beaten once. It was not that was not beating. That beginning.
That kicking part.
Okay, that kicking. Oh, I remember on his stomach.
Yeah.
Million from the beginning, there was no blood. There was no
Back in the day,
blood.
it's like they went back in the day when Jim hiked them, they will be beaten. Like, you will see, how are we going back in our standards in terms of, and one, I know we're going back to the actors, but just closing out on basically the film. Nollywood should set the standard. Hollywood, obviously, they're dealing with lighter skin tone, and then dark skin tone is an afterthought. Nollywood should set the standard that when we have all this beautiful melanin on camera, we're going to make sure their skin tones are aligned, and we're not setting that standard. I think that's something we should definitely consider.
I think one of the issues I had, or one of the things I highlighted was, what was his name? Emeka Abi,
Yes.
the firstborn. I didn't just get what he was supposed to be. He was uneducated. He was a rascal. He was thank you, coconut head. He was irresponsible, and then he got to that point where, I mean, I didn't even know he could use a smartphone, but let's say he could use a smartphone. Then he got to that point where he had to record that video, and he was speaking proper English. And I was like, wait, was it script? Okay, yes, of course it was scripted. But like, this is not the Emeka we saw in the beginning, and all those other parts. And then after that part, he went back to that joint, and then he was speaking his pidgin. The pidgin self, he was speaking his pidgin. His Igbo was.
But he's an Igbo person, actually. So he's supposed to speak Igbo where?
I asked myself, is this guy not Igbo?
I just feel like they were not consistent with what he was supposed to be, like his character. Yes, he's giving irresponsible. He's giving. I'm not the breadwinner. I'm not the responsible one in the home. But he didn't give as much as he should. Like you said, if he was in trouble like that, why did he never get scarred? Why did he never? It was just a lot of. It was the mind he had at the end when he was talking to. Thank you. Someone was holding a gun to your head, and you're like, no, for someone that stole 20 million naira, you'd expect that there is fear small now.
Yeah.
Bro, I told you not to wear these glasses.
Friend, shut up. What do you know about fashion?
Let me say the extras in the classrooms, they should have done better in terms of you. So you feel like, okay, that was a project that was the guy was recognized across the country for in the end at the end of the day, and yet the students that were there in the classroom session, they were not. Even a bad lecturer would not have that kind of attendance.
But for that scene, I actually felt like that was what they wanted to show, that when he started the project, there were very few people. And then towards the end, there were not plenty. So
There were not many in the end. Now.
that when they were showing those crime,
Not many. They were still small.
that crime stuff that we were seeing, there were plenty people now.
Still small.
Yes.
They were still small. Our chef.
Oh, but as the chef is here.
You know, recognize
Okay.
Why is nobody talking about the part where he cheated on his girlfriend?
Ah.
You guys are just going to let that part slide.
No.
Like he was still in a full-blown relationship and was easily kissing somebody.
Moment of weakness. Was vulnerable.
When I saw the Genevieve, the fact that she was speaking that Singapore language. So when she was speaking that language, I asked myself, like, why is it in the script? If she was speaking normal English, will it take the story forward? And it will take the story forward. We don't need her to speak another language to show that she's an AI expert. She could literally just speak English and say she went to the US to learn what she learned, and because that's what they were saying, that she went to Singapore to learn everything.
You know, she was playing a game. And she was so the other person on the other end is from Singapore. That is the only explanation. Yes, that's the only explanation.
What about her dad speaking it too?
Like
At the end. So it feels like I think maybe they just wanted to show that they were, will I say versatile, dynamic family, because I'm trying to understand the context of the language. Sorry, I'm trying to understand the context of the language, and for me, it didn't add anything to the film aside from confusion. Because for someone who's watching a movie without subtitles, except that like it now makes subtitle like very very like necessary in the movie. If not, there's like a flow of conversation and you're trying to follow the movie, and then somebody just drops one thing that is neither English or another language, and I'm like, what's going on? Please, I don't know. I respect the creativity, but no.
I'm not a crime person or a criminal, but the police interrogation room is something that raised a concern for me. Because the lighting, yes, but ideally an interrogation room should not have a window that I can just run through and I'm gone. That's what it felt like, because it was so like the window was very broad, and if I was a criminal, let me just try it. It felt so like this is like serious escape.
Let me defend him. He was a good guy. He was a good guy in a bad situation.
Come on.
The entire lighting of that movie was somehow, because we kept seeing the lights. I saw the light itself for the set like 3 times when they were having that event. It was just in front of us when they were having that event. Even in the car, they used, oh god, night light is not blue lights. Please, night light is not blue lights. In Nigeria, we don't have night light that is blue light. So I don't know why when they are shooting night light, they keep using blue lights in Nigerian movies. But recently, they've started changing it sharp because we have white lights in the night. So, anybody has anything else?
I have something to add. Please, with all due respect, why was it raining when he was in the car? And when he came down from the car was dry. If a day before what? From when he drove from, what's the place? From the office to the hotel. Yeah. The car had dried up. Yes. Like the scene exactly before that,
Okay, so guys,
On a scale
of 1 to 10, what's your Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was enjoying the family drama the first few scene, but I lost everything when I was like noticing that Michael Zonye was just, there was no like beating. I was like, he was just talking. I'm like, I'm supposed to touch this guy small. And I was when I knew that something is wrong. So my rating for this movie out of 10 is 8. 8.
It
So
was.
generous.
A 3.5
Oh,
over.
I thought
I thought I enjoyed it.
it.
I was actually going to say 3 for effort. I mean, yeah, they put in a whole lot of work.
And a lot of money. That's
Yeah.
about the casting for the movie, I feel like each actor kind of has a persona that fits them. The guy who was like the villain in the movie, that persona didn't actually suit him, so it it made it seem like he had to over yes, yes, to fit into the role. He had there's a word for it, but yes, he had to do a whole lot more to fit into the role, and it was so obvious that he was emoting. Do you understand? Like, oh, this person is trying to be in character, and this isn't his person. So for someone like that who doesn't have like the aesthetics for a bad person, I think what would be more suitable if he were going to like be a villain character in the movie would be like a villain is kind of like in an ironic way, someone who you see and appears to be kind, which was what they were trying to do with the whole part where he gave yes and everything. Now that should have also followed with his facial expressions and everything. It should be expressionless. You understand? I could be telling you that I'm killing you and I'm keeping a straight face, like I'm not telling you something bad. You understand? I don't have to be squeezing my face and even weak. I don't think wicked people do like that. I don't think wicked people, they have to do so much to show you that they are wicked. Yes, like your actions, what you're already doing, your words, and is enough to that. Like all that over dramatizing, is it really necessary? Maybe adding it.
So you're rating.
Well, we have all agreed that we're going to say, oh, for effort, for budget, 2.5. Yeah. The parallel. Like, you are as good as you are bad. Yes. So I like people that are too nice. I fear them. Please do not get on their bad side because that is how bad they get. So yes, if you're going to be a bad person, I don't think you need to be squeezing people. No, you don't need that. I didn't enjoy the movie. I didn't enjoy. I was confused countless times. I mean, thank God for the efforts that they put in. They tried. They really tried. I think I'll stick with a 3.5. Stick with that.
I thought about it that if I had to pay to see this movie on in a cinema, to be terrible. Like I don't watch Nigerian movies in cinemas, fact, because like and there's a trend in Nollywood right now where when or where if there are 5 movies that are released in a certain time, you almost likely see one actor in 3 or more of them. Is it that how does that work? Like it's something that they should look into. No. Yeah.
I feel like they're riding on the popularity of the actor, someone who is trending, who people want to watch more often. But the problem with that is that the more you show someone in my face, I get bored with that face to an extent. So they want to always put faces that are known, ride on their popularity and try to make as much sales. I mean, you're making movies in order to make sales, right? So you want to use somebody whose face would actually sell the movie. But then when you use it, there's like when you have reached maximum utility to start to diminish. So diminishing returns.
Okay. Let me just for safety. I put safety. Oh yes, safety. Because I'm not as bad as some people. I'll be like,
So I want to ask, do you think this thing is a directing issue? Because the director is there. The director is supposed to tell the cinematographer, talk to your gaffer to move the lights. Because obviously we could see that this light is there. It's supposed not to be there. So do you think it's a director's thing or probably is a story thing?
So I think from I think the, that's like a factor. The directing thing is a factor because some people think some things can be corrected in post production, and you cannot fix everything in post. You can't. So I think the directing thing is a factor.
I also feel like story to it is another thing to consider. Like Nollywood, we don't have stories. We don't have stories. That's the truth. Because we are focusing in one of two things: family problem, ritual, um, like general. Like I understand that is our but love here and there, and like there's I think there's more that we are unwilling to tap into. Not that because we cannot, just that the resources to actually get it right. Nobody's wanting to make that first move. When King of Boys came out, it was like a breakout in that area of scripting. And since then, other type of movies have come out in that direction, and it has made sense. I feel like we should go back and ask ourselves, really, what's the next in terms of script writing? That's what I feel like.
The time frame that you need to do a quality work, if you have to spread it across doing multiple things, then you dilute the quality of what you put out. Because first of all, you cannot even concentrate safe, because you are barely done with this and you are already breaking your head over the next project. So that's the thing. Also, you're also diluting the budget. So less is more, you know. So yeah, less is more. I feel like if I haven't been to the cinema to see a movie in a really, really long time, and then a movie comes out, I would prefer that it takes a while for me to go to see a movie because I'm excited to see the movie. You understand? Instead of movies to be there and like the last one I saw wasn't so good, and like the subsequent one you will bring out, even if it's very good, I'll be very reluctant to see it because I now have a bias. So do better.
We have all seen it, so I didn't just talk about this movie. I brought everybody here because we saw it together. So it's on Prime. So the direct link to watch it is in my description. So you just click on it, just go to Prime. See, I didn't say you should not see the film. See the movie. It's actually nice if you are in for family drama kind of thingy. But these are things that we as young people we noticed, and we are like asking ourselves question like if they had been more careful and yeah, exactly paying attention to all this, it would have been better and would have enjoyed it. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and drop
Like, follow,
comment.
share.
Yeah, share to everybody that watches Bollywood out there. So this is me signing out. Peace out. Bye.